is Freeloaders. I'm Batman.
And I'm Batman.
Freeloaders is a regular look at what is or has been free to download from the PlayStation Network. We download the games and give them a play and see if they're worth the download, bandwidth and time.
This time we're looking at Batman Arkham Knight, a third-person action-adventure game based on DC Comics' flagship vigilante, Batman, and it's the fourth main installment in the Batman Arkham series. The game's main storyline sees Batman confront Scarecrow, who's launched an attack on Gotham City, causing a citywide evacuation. The gameplay focuses on chaining attacks against multiple enemies, avoiding damage, and using stealth to remain concealed and silently eliminating enemies. Arkham Knight introduces the Batmobile as a playable vehicle, which is used for transportation, puzzle solving, and combat. Arkham Knight was released worldwide on June 23rd, 2015, and these are our first impressions. Well, they would be if I hadn't played it before, so really this is your first impression, isn't it?
This is my first impressions, you're right. I mean, basically, the reason why we picked this game is because the other game that's on offer this month is a game that we played number 2 in the series, so we've already played that as well, and I'm pretty sure that's the same game as it was back then in the very first pilot episode of the program.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why we picked Batman. Also, I haven't played a lot of Batman, but before we do dive into Batman, who's your favourite Batman?
Well, does it have to be live action?
No, of course not.
Okay, well, it's the animated
All Batmen
series.
are valid.
It's the animated series Batman, then. The classic animated series from the 90s. I'm struggling to think of his name, and I'm going to really hate myself if I don't come up with it.
I have absolutely no idea about the animated series names. I mean, I would say my favourite Batman, of course, is Adam West. That's my favourite Batman, but the best Batman is the Lego Batman, closely followed by the Michael Keaton's Batman, only because I love the line, "I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to let you go and tell your friends I'm the Batman." And that's the... I mean, and okay, your Val Kilmer, your George Clooney, your Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, they're all right, but they just took it a little bit to the dark side for me, if that makes sense.
I'm not sure George Clooney took it to the dark side. I think George Clooney was trying hard to be Adam West. But yeah, I know.
I suppose it was a little bit more... I mean, and interesting thing, live action... Well, technically, it's not live action. But yeah, live action. I suppose there's only been... Adam West is only the third Batman, isn't he?
It depends where you start counting
because
from.
Because there's Robert Lowry and then another one that did black and white. I can't remember his name. I meant to write this down and forgot. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, I would say, but my favourite Batman is the Lego Batman because he's the most awesomest Batman that there is.
Will Arnett is brilliant. Kevin Conroy is the voice I was trying to think of. He is my Batman, really. I think he's the one that I associate the most, and also I'm pretty sure is the voice in this game as well. He was definitely the voice of Batman in the other 2 Arkham games, or the 3 Arkham games I should say, and it's just the voice. It's the same as Mark Hamill's voice is the definitive Joker.
You can always tell certain voices. Will Arnett, of course, is the Lego Batman. His name.
The beauty of the Lego Batman movie is that amongst all of the stupid jokes, it's actually probably the best Batman story, the most true to Batman of any of the films.
The problem with the DC universe is that I have enjoyed some of the DC movies. I have to say, not all of them have been pants, but I have to say that the Lego interpretation of the DC universe is better than the live action.
It very much is. I absolutely agree. Yeah, and down to anything, even amongst anything that is ridiculous, the heart of those characters is pretty true.
Oh yeah,
the DC movies have been getting better, but they're still not great. And yeah, I don't know. Each to their own, I suppose, is the best way to look at it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Anyway, we're going to kick off with Batman Arkham Knight. Now, full disclosure, I have Batman Arkham Asylum and Batman Arkham City. Is Arkham Asylum the first one in the
Asylum
series,
is first, City is next.
Yeah, and
I
then
think Origins is the third one, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't got Oranges. Oranges.
Oranges. All right, Trump.
Oranges. Hang on, I'll just glue my teeth back in. We're going to play out some Batman. But I don't have Origins.
No.
But I do have, like I said, Asylum and City, but I have them for the PlayStation 3 and they've never been in the PlayStation. I bought them just out of completing series and you know, just out of collectors and always wanted to play them and just haven't. So this will be probably my first Batman game in a very long time. That doesn't mean I haven't seen a Batman game.
No.
I have seen a Batman game played in VR about 2 or 3 months ago, and I wonder if it was this game. And I have to say, playing in VR is upsetting because you're more worried about the VR than you are anything else.
That's my favourite descriptive word for VR. It's upsetting.
Well, VR is upsetting. I mean, there are some games that just make you want to be sick, and then there are other games because the movement is wrong. You move, and you go, "Why am I moving?" And your head goes, "You're moving." It's like it's disturbing sometimes VR if it's done incorrectly. So you can't just take a normal game and just make it surround you. It doesn't work. One of the best VR games I think I played from the modern games that are out is actually the Star Wars Battlefront. Can't remember if it was Battlefront 2 where you fly a TIE fighter. No, an X-Wing. My only problem with that is that the game holds your hand. It's more of like a demo than a real game. Holds your hand and doesn't let you sort of shoot anything you see. So, but anyway, back to Batman.
Yes.
So I'm going to press X to start. Are you ready to join me?
I will join you. I'll refresh my memory, yep.
Let's press X now then, and empty save slots. Lovely.
Oh,
what does this
here we
mean?
go. Well, anybody looking at my feed will see that my PlayStation tells you exactly how far I got, which might be a sneak preview of how I feel about this game. But never mind. I'm going to go to an empty slot, and I'll start empty, and we'll all forget we saw the 9% that I did. Okay, so I am now fascinated to see your video feed. Right, I've set difficulty to normal. Yeah,
I've left hints on.
Might as well.
I'm going to up the brightness just because I do that on all games because that's the way I am. My speakers are set to large speakers. Sounds reasonable. I'm going to leave the subtitles off, I think, just to reduce clutter.
It's fine.
And then continue.
That's. I'm quite actually. Funnily enough, because I had previously have owned this on. I do still own it on disc, but somebody else has my copy. I had to delete the game from my dashboard so that I could re-upload it. Otherwise, it was trying to get me to put the disc in all the time. New story, I guess.
You would think that, pushing news story now. You would actually think that in this modern day and age. That they would have worked that out and there would have been a seamless transition. But I guess that's for the next generation. Maybe. Who knows? Physical media seems to be dying anyway, so...
It is. I mean, we sort of made fun a little while this story plays out. We made fun a little bit of the options available, but to be fair, this is quite a good value game to get as part of your... I know we'll go through that in part 2, but as part of your online membership. If you didn't already have it, it's a big old game. This is a huge spoiler for you. I've just realised you haven't played any of the other games. Okay, just close your eyes for a bit because you're gonna learn a massive plot point.
No, unfortunately, while I was writing the copy for the intro, which 3T hacked and edited, it already spoiled a little bit for me anyway. So there you go. Yeah. But that's okay. I'll just play it momentum style. Memento. Sorry, memento. Not memento. Memento. You know,
that's
where
how
the guy has all the post-it notes.
Yeah, that's how I watched the Alien films first of all, because I remember I watched 3, then Aliens, and then Alien. Oh, I think we have to do something. Do I have to click a button? Oh no, there it goes. The fire has just started.
Right. I'm glad you said that because.
Oh no, you can hold. You're controlling the fire. I forgot that. So yeah, press X to press X to Jason.
Oh, well, I'm just rolling my analogs. Listen to the noise.
There we go. Now he's on fire.
Yeah, he's gone. Oh, what a lovely Batman logo.
How it happened. This.
Yeah, Kevin Conroy's voice is the best Batman interpretation.
I used to remember they used to be the ones that used to be on like Saturday mornings, weren't they? They were quite good.
Yeah, oh, they're amazing. Some of them are. I mean, that's where like the modern Mr. Freeze origin came from, is the animated series, the Kevin Conroy one.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Freeze was a bit of a joke character, I think, before that, and then they gave him the sort of tragic backstory of having a wife who was dying, and he had to freeze her and keep her alive. And there's a lot of really heartfelt stuff.
Wasn't Dr. Freeze in one of the movies, and wasn't he played by Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, Mr. Freeze is Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they reduce him to stupid cold puns and bad. That is the worst one. That is the George Clooney one as well, though. So.
Yeah, I mean, you know, ER. It's the ER. Maybe it needed like to go to the ER to be rescued. Look at me struggling for a link.
But then if somebody said, "Do you want to play Batman?" If you're an actor, you're not going to say no, are you?
Oh no! I mean, that's the thing. I mean, the sort of. I mean, Adam West. I mean, he made it his full job. I mean, you know, you say, what else did Adam West do? And you think, don't know, Batman, shark repellent salesman.
Wasn't he in some very softcore pornography after that as well? Didn't he do some?
I have no idea.
I don't think he was a performer as much as a sort of background comic relief. Was he in Clue, or am I mistaking him for somebody else?
I don't know.
He's in something. I'm sure he's in a comedy murder mystery thing I've seen.
Yeah, I have to have. I think he died long before Clue came out. I'm trying to remember when he.
Oh no! Adam West only died quite recently.
Was it recently? Maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
Yeah. This is see story. We're in the head of a cop now, and I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm not really watching. I'm just talking to you.
Now you have to walk him around the diner. So yeah.
Now I have to do something.
Where are we going?
Oh no! Hang on. First thing I have to do is hit
Balloons.
the menu, go to controls.
You've got to confront the smoking
settings.
Customer. I'm just going to do that. Press X to confront smoking customer.
Oh, guess what this game is lacking. I have no ability to change my X and Y axis.
Oh, I see.
I already hate this game.
That might come up. It might be able to do it. But, you know.
No, I've gone into the options menu. All I've got is default gamepads.
Oh right, so you're not seeing what I'm seeing yet. Okay.
No, because I haven't worked out how to get there. I've got to go and find someone who's smoking and then beat them to death. Right, okay.
I mean, just go towards the red balloons.
What red balloons? Oh, yeah, red balloons. Okay.
You're very
honestly,
much on rails here, so...
I'm very angry about this, though, because up is down and down is up to me. Now, I know that a friend of mine tells me it's about time you learn that invert is the wrong way around, and I say it's not.
You shouldn't have to. You should be able to play however you want.
Yeah, exactly. Oh dear, that's a bit scary.
I was waiting to see what your reaction was. I love that your reaction to a massive jump scare is, oh dear.
Well, I must confess, I didn't expect it.
No.
And it was quite terrifying. And in fact, what is continuing to happen is even more terrifying than the jump scare.
Yes.
If I'm honest.
Yeah. Well, it's, again, Scarecrow, a recurring villain in the Arkham games. And the effect... In the first one, there is a Scarecrow bit which is genuinely horrifically unsettling in Arkham Asylum. So they do a really good job with that, like seeing it through the idea of what a fear toxin could do to you, or how it would, how it would affect you is very well handled.
I managed to get a couple of rounds off.
Yeah, I mean, you're very much on rails there, so don't worry too much. You're not destined to beat anybody there.
Oh, well, he's not. It's just a diner full of randoms. I mean, it's like, who cares,
Yeah, exactly.
Johnny Charisma. Oh.
So I think I'm slightly ahead of you now, so I'll try not to comment on what's actually going
That's
on
all right.
in mine.
Yeah, that's fine. I really am disappointed with the with the video there in the Times Square, because it was a little bit janky for the digital age.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like the PS3 games, I mean, I'll always look back fondly on them anyway. But they're beautiful. They're proper, because they're so self-contained. I think the beauty of Arkham Asylum is that you are trapped within the confines of the asylum, but they have a lot of interesting ways of getting you out of it and getting you to the Batcave. The idea that Batman has got little hidey hole tunnels to get to the Batcave from basically anywhere in Gotham is genius, and it makes so much sense.
It's how he probably can travel around and do what he does and gets things done.
Yeah. I'm about to inhabit Batman, so I'll wait till you are before I start flying around and shit.
So, there's a Two-Face, and is that the Penguin?
Be Penguin, yep.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Right.
So they've evacuated Gotham City then.
Basically, yeah.
That would make sense. I mean, when you actually watch some of the Batman films, you just say, why does Gotham City not have an evacuation? Or why don't they just politely ask Batman to go away?
Batman, I think you might be attracting some of these fucking nutcases.
Could you possibly... You see, I just wonder if you could possibly... could you possibly go and move in with Superman, or
He won't have me.
Superman probably break his neck. Anyway,
never. So you shouldn't need too much tutorializing here, because it's going to give you little prompts as to what buttons will do and what.
My only problem again is up is down and down is up. I'm just going to go into the just one more time. Just go into the controls and have a look. Okay, so my options are
your x-axis. Is it X, sorry, or Y, whichever one it is. When you're gliding, it shouldn't bother you. That should be as you expect.
Yeah, but when I'm walking around, so I've got battle mode, Batman. Is there any way of changing it? Why? Why? It doesn't make sense that you can't just change an X and a Y axis. I feel like such a whiny person.
No, but it's a valid complaint if that's what you want to do.
No, I've got to glide somewhere. I seem to have some kind of target that's 535 meters.
Yeah, well, you can see that the bat signal is being blasted into the sky, so you've got to go to that like you would if you were Batman. I think I've messed this up anyway.
So you got... yeah, I already put it, because I didn't realise you had to hold to glide. What's this? Dive bomb while gliding, hold X plus R2.
I've forgotten what...
Oh, that's nice. You lose a lot of altitude, but that's nice. Let's not hit the sign, Batman. Oh, Batman's clever.
R1 is your friend, because R1 is your grapnel launcher, which does cover a lot of ground very quickly.
I'm already on the ground, because I've...
How's the evacuation going?
All right, I'm just going to talk to...
Because I'm stupid.
I'm just glad my little girl
and this X and Y thing is really irritating me. I have to say, this is very upsetting. How do I get up that high? My grapple won't let me go up that high.
You should be able to just target anything reachable by your grapple. Should just be automatically targeted when you look up.
Your grapple has a distance though.
Yeah.
To detonate a chemical weapon in Gotham. I won't let that happen, Jim.
All right, I'll get there in a minute. I keep going down when I should go up though, which is very frustrating. Oh, this game's going to get old and tired very quickly. And I know that sounds really awful.
Of all the things to kill a game for you, it's that, and that is very interesting.
Why is Commissioner Gordon still in town? Is he a maniac or what?
I suppose
Gotham was evacuated, surely, right, as a high value asset and a very important person. He would have been one of the first out or in a bunker. All right. Why is he still? Is he retired? And is he like, why? I mean, I know the story doesn't make sense.
Well, he's very much a hands-on police commissioner, isn't he?
Has he not heard of telephones? I mean, even in the 1960s, they had telephones. He could have called Batman. Hey, Batman, we've evacuated everywhere. We don't quite know if you live in Gotham or not, but you do cause us a lot of trouble. How have you seen the lunatic that's doing stuff? Great. Can you come and deal with him? Why does he have to meet him on the top of a tower?
Well, that's where Batman goes, isn't it?
Oh, I know, but Batman could go on top of the tower and use his cell phone from there if he wants to go for the optics and do a couple of selfies and put them on Twitter. You know, if it's the optics that he cares about.
They really missed a trick, didn't they?
Yeah, he did. I mean, the Lego Batman would do it. I guarantee it. Lego Batman would rebuild Gotham. Probably has. Yeah, I have to say, I know this sounds awful, but I'm a little bit bored with the story already, and I haven't even been really watching it.
It is too much story. Right,
okay,
glide
I'm
kit.
going to glide.
Let's just get on
I'm
with
going to
this.
glide. I'm going to glide. I'm
which
gliding,
button is avoid, but I'm
gliding.
guessing now muscle memory is going to kick in, and I'm hopefully just going to get on with this. No, he tackled me. That's not right. Counter is triangle. Good. You very quickly learn how to chain combat together. Basically, you'll have like when you get into a fight, you have like a sort of spider sense thing above your head, and that is your prompt to hit triangle, so you'll avoid the next hit from a goon.
You can also just sort of like batarang out of the whatever the bat thing out of it. Let's see if we can get these guys.
You're supposed to be rescue. Oh, here he is. Right. Rescuing a copper.
Yeah, in the back. Come on, in the back. Yeah, in the back. Counter. Yep, in the back. Punch, punch, punch. Punch, punch, punch. Punch, evade, evade, evade. Punch, 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 evade, evade, evade. Right. Yeah, I do feel a little bit... I am being a little bit helped by the... oh, is that a helicopter? Can I get to the helicopter?
Oh, yeah, it's this soon. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to have to wait very long for you to experience the reason I stopped playing this game, which has just turned up for me, so that's good.
I need to track that military vehicle.
The rain is very pretty.
I have to say though, I am really, really, really confused by the up and down and the down and up, and that is upsetting me. Right, I'm on a helicopter. What do I do? Why am I on a helicopter?
I don't know. You've obviously got yourself there.
Yeah, but what, can I take the helicopter down or destroy the helicopter? I've got no prompts and.
I don't know. Sorry, I didn't really listen. Then I don't know what I'm supposed to be pressing. I've forgotten. Is that a gun? Batman doesn't use guns. That wouldn't be a gun. What would I be firing at them instead of a gun?
I don't know. I'm very annoyed by up and down. Anyone watching my stream will see that you can see that when I want to go up, I'm going down, and I'm concentrating now on up and down, and that is really ruining everything for me. How do I? Can I get back on that helicopter? Yes, I can. I don't know why I need to get on this helicopter, but I feel this helicopter is important to me.
I need to interrogate the driver and find out.
It's a police helicopter. Probably it's not important to me then. Okay.
Where am I supposed to be going? Okay, interrogate soldier when near. Well, where's the soldier?
Don't really know. The gliding's nice. I have to say I'm enjoying the gliding. I'm not really enjoying much else. Can I run? No. Of course Batman can't run. Why would Batman run? That would be undignified.
You have to walk in an intimidating fashion towards people very slowly. Interrogate soldier. Press X to mourn. Press X to chase.
I love the. Oh God, I love the evade. Oh, the evade's my favourite. That is really nice to jump over the top of someone with your cape rattling like that. Very nice.
It is. The combat system in these games is brilliant, and it's so intuitive. I know it is essentially hammer square until you see jagged lines, and then press triangle.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's smooth.
If you're lying, I'll break the other one.
But it does. It's very. You don't have to have it explained to you because you just go, oh, I see. This is me punching. This is me evading.
What? Did I kill everyone? Or beat everyone up? Where does it want me to go now? Batman, come over here. Oh, I suppose it's. I've got a head-up display to follow, which I've only just found.
But it's not invasive. It's just a compass marker along the top, and go towards the exclamation marks. It's going to tell you to press L1 in a minute. I would have thought.
No, I just got run over by a car.
Oh no, that'll happen in a minute then. Okay.
No, we managed to jump to one side. Now, we've just rescued a policeman and left him on a roof. Sorry. He's just...
that's fair enough.
Good news is you're not dead. The bad news is you're going to starve to death. He's standing in the corner. He looks like he's urinating against a wall.
Rooftops is where the police hang out in Gotham anyway, so that's probably where he likes to be.
I have to stop a car. My head-up display is gone now as well. It's very inconsistent. Look at the nearby selection of the map. Look at the nearby section of the road to call in help. Okay. Even the odds. Okay. Does that mean I'm going to get the Batmobile?
Yes.
Ah, lovely. Let's see if I can drive the Batmobile. I've earned a trophy.
You got a trophy, did you?
Yeah. Journey into the night.
Glide kick, what? Oh, I see. Let's do that then.
Oh, Batmobile's lovely. Drives like GTA.
I don't know how I got
Has it got weapon systems?
Oh,
it's got jets and everything.
It's got like an immobilizer thing, which is going to ask you to do against somebody in a minute. It's not necessarily a gun. They get away with it not being called a gun. Oh, XX to evade. I forgot that. Okay, XX.
Don't worry, Jim. He's mine.
You can piss off, mate.
Jim. He's mine. That's Commissioner Gordon to you, Batman.
I don't even know how I got into this gang area, but backwards headbutt was very satisfying.
I am the worstest driver imaginable. Yeah, this is fun though. Somebody's throwing explosive-y things at me.
If you see the red marker to evade, you've got. Oh, I see. No, you're still driving the car, aren't you? Okay.
I'm still driving a car. I've just killed that car. That car is upside down. Does the Batmobile not have a reverse? Oh, for God's sake!
It does. I can't remember.
That's all right. I'll just do a power turn. It's fine.
Yeah,
Exit the Batmobile.
It's as handleable as it needs to be.
It's a little bit silly not having a reverse.
Ah, there it is. Double. Ah, right. That was frustrating me.
Double X.
I knew that there's like a button that you pressed to when you finish your grapnel boot to sort of jump off it, but you double tap X while you're grappling towards something. If you double tap X and hold it, then you will do a launch off it. but I've been steadfastly ignoring the prompts on the screen until that point.
I had to be following the prompts. That's why I was enjoying jumping over the top of people with XX and things like that.
So it does get very smooth. It's all about chaining stuff, chaining combat, chaining maneuvers, gliding smoothly around the city. It's very, very polished.
Oh, I'm in analyzing mode.
Where am I going? I have no idea. I can't remember. 36 meters downwards.
Who's the lady he's talking to? I mean, has he borrowed the Green Arrows controller lady or something?
That's Oracle. She's Commissioner Gordon's daughter. She's also Batgirl.
Oh, all right.
Well, she was Batgirl. She's Oracle now because the Joker crippled her in the story, The Killing Joke, which they've sort of taken some of. This is a mishmash of lots of different Batman stories.
I just want to drive the Batmobile. I don't care about anything else. It's the only thing that doesn't need to be up and down.
I'm quite annoyed that I was in the right place. I beat up a load of goons. I went flying around, and now I've had to come back to the same room to carry the story on.
The Batmobile is really nice. It doesn't have brakes though.
But only one of us.
When you're Batman, you don't.
It only has a throttle. You have to sort of, if you want to stop dead, you have to sort of do it Frank Drebin style.
Two speeds, fast and faster.
Oh right, that was fun. Yeah, Batmobile lacking a reverse. Have I just been run over by my own Batmobile? I think I did. Just got run over by my own Batmobile. Okay, something about going up to a penthouse.
Yeah, just follow the exclamation mark on your compass.
No hello.
Tell me.
They are I don't know. It's a bit odd in the current climate, at least. To see such hypersexualized female characters. But then that is comics for you, I suppose.
Yeah.
Though there's something really, because they're sort of going for realism without being able to go fully for realism. So the faces on the characters, whilst impressive visually, are a little bit sort of,
I've got a little electric shock thing, which is great. I can do.
Are you fighting goons at the moment? Whereabouts are you?
I'm fighting goons at a penthouse.
Okay.
And well,
when you've kicked the shit out of them, don't leave, because that is where the story continues. That's the mistake I just made. I knocked them all out and then flew away again, and had to come back.
Oh, Batman's got to find another way in. Why don't you have? What kind of utility belt have you got, Batman? I mean, for God's sake, I mean, you should be ready for everything from bloody sharks to a lockpick set. I mean, it's...
Could I have your bat shark repellent?
If you excuse the pun, a battering ram. Right, anyway.
He probably has. He's got a little, he's got everything in that belt.
Well then, why do I have to go over to the top of the building and find an open window and drop in like some kind of teenager that's been out drinking? Right, anyway.
So...
I don't know how I'm getting into this penthouse. Though.
It might be a roof. You have to drop down through and attack the guys from above.
Yeah, I'm just I'm thinking that what would be nice. Oh, hang on, here we have a prompt as we walk over. Oh, okay. So that's an interesting prompt. So that would be that and that.
Riot suppressor engaged.
Nice.
Batman.
I'm just quietly watching Batman gun people down now, which is not my Batman.
I need to stay within range.
Not my Batman. Tell your friends, I'm not your Batman.
I have no idea where I'm going. I really, really hate fake sandbox.
Yeah.
Drive anywhere, as long as it's within the confines of this tiny area of like 2 or 3 bloody city blocks.
Yeah. I think I just took everybody out. Now I've got to work out how to get into this to this glass box.
See. Ugh. Really, I see, I don't want to be saying what I'm doing because it might spoil your enjoyment, but essentially this game just changed into the thing I hated the most about it and why I stopped playing it.
Well, I think that with that we should probably think about bringing this little introduction to an end. Do some more playing away from the actual microphone, because I suspect there'll be a lot more swearing. And we'll be right back in a matter of moments for you, but for us it will be some time.
So, after spending some time in Gotham City, Mike, what did you think of the game?
Well, once we worked out how to change the y-axis around, which is in a place which I wouldn't have expected, but luckily you found it, and there is video of that. The game became slightly easier to play. I mean, I am one of those weird people that I have to invert the y-axis, and I know I should one day learn not to, but or to get around it. But once we found that out, yes, I had a good time and I started to enjoy it a little bit more. But I have to say, there is so much going on when it comes to the control interface. It's so much to remember, such a steep learning curve. But then I think you summed it up best when you said, like, really they're tutorializing like the Batmobile to you, and then for you, you've already played it and you've played the others, and so more or less the same sort of control set. But then I did also notice that you were like asking yourself, how do I evade? What combination is that? How do I do that? So it's a learning curve. But then that's like any game. It's like Hitman. It's like any game that has a difficult control interface that isn't just like run, shoot, jump, hide. Obviously has a slightly more complicated control interface, and it did become more natural as I was playing. And so it was all right. And what about you?
I mean, I've played it before. I am a big fan of the first 2 games at least. It's highly playable. I think it's very intuitive when you get going. But it's what really sucked the fun out of this game, and it's bizarre, but what really sucked the fun out of this game for me is the Batmobile. And it's I think I said to you, I don't think we were recording when I said it, but this game gave you what you thought you wanted when you were playing the other games, because the Batmobile makes a couple of appearances and you think, I'd love to be driving the Batmobile. I think that'd be amazing. Imagine driving the Batmobile. And then Arkham Knight goes, here's the Batmobile, and you go, oh yeah, it's a tank. I wish I was out of the Batmobile punching people in the face, and it's just too much for me.
See, I loved the Batmobile, but then I haven't played the other 3 games, so that might be that. I loved it. I did enjoy. The Batmobile had certain limitations that I thought were hilarious because of the control schema that they have. Like, I think I said it while we were recording. There's no brakes. You have to drive and stop it. You just crash it into something to stop it. And it turns out there are no brakes because the button that you think would be the brakes does something else. And once you're introduced to that something else, you go, oh, all right. And then you discover that the only way to stop the Batmobile instantly is to transform into basically some kind of transformer tank.
Yeah.
and that's it. And then like you got a booster, and so I was enjoying sort of like basically driving like GTA style. Swinging the ass out, hitting the booster to go in the right direction, and then also using the battle mode to drive the Batmobile. And it's a good job. Good job. Gotham was evacuated because sometimes you would accidentally transform and not then go back into the car mode, and your prime gun, instead of being the accelerator, would be the main cannon.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on. I think they've tried to cram too many things into the control set, which I think is the one thing that I found it. The actual fighting, like you say, when you get out of the Batmobile and you fight, I found that quite natural. I quite enjoyed that. Initially, I went when we were first recording and we looked at it, and all these bloody prompts appeared on the screen like push square, X, push the. Oh no, it's Dance Revolution. This is going to be very annoying, but it isn't, because I think you do have a lot of control over the fight. Batmobile, love it, but I think it's trying to do too many things all at once when it's there. And I think you might be right. As much as I love the Batmobile, I think it might get in the way of the story. Because I know I was just enjoying driving the Batmobile.
I think it's horribly repetitive, or at least up to the 9% that I played through previously. It's I think the beauty of the first couple of games is you're sort of thrown in. You've got you're down to bare bones. You've got nothing, and you're slowly earning stuff. And Alfred is sort of getting gadgets to you, and it's like, oh, this is how you use this thing, and you go, brilliant, and you start learning that thing, and then it says, and here's a new gadget. I've just made this for you, Batman, and you learn that. And this is like, here's the Batmobile. Okay, so it's a tank. This button does this button does that. Don't forget to jump over this. I spent, I was saying to you, there's a part very near the beginning with the Batmobile where like you've learnt its tank capabilities, and then it's like, okay, let's start jumping rooftops, like in the Christian Bale film. And then it takes I'm just rubbish, but I kept falling off the roof, and then it's like, okay, let's drive back around here and start again. I don't want to do that. I don't want a driving game. I just want to be Batman. And that's what the first couple of games did so well. They make you feel like you're Batman. And this game makes you feel like you're Batman, but you're going to school. And, like, here's some things to learn. Whereas everything else, it was so seamless. It was, right, I need a gadget to do this. Let's find a gadget to do this. So I don't want to do it down. It is fun. It is playable. If this was the first Arkham game I had played, I don't think I would want to play anymore.
Well, you see, the thing is though, I enjoyed what I was doing. I enjoyed playing what I've played. I had fun playing it. Once I'd worked out how to change the y-axis, which rather you worked out how to do that. At that point, it became fun, because suddenly I was moving in the right direction. And it was fun, electrocuting people and then running them over. I mean, I'm pretty sure that everybody that Batman encountered in that Batmobile is dead.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, when you're in like a fight scene on the street, you can say, well, he's just knocked them unconscious and they deserved it because they were bad guys. But when they come running up to the Batmobile and the Batmobile goes bzzzt and electrocutes them, and then what? I don't know, a 2.5 to 5 ton Batmobile rolls over them. I don't think they're coming back from that.
No.
But for me, that was some fun factor. But I did have that moment of, Batman's not supposed to kill people.
No. There's no getting away from the fact that he strapped a small cannon with infinite bullets on the top of his tank to avenge the death of all the little people who get killed by guns on the streets. It's he's a bit of a hypocrite in this, but you know.
Yeah. But I mean, what about you? I mean, you said fun factor. Did you have fun?
It is fun. It's in small doses. It's very fun, but I don't necessarily want to go back and play it. I didn't see that, having already been familiar with it, I didn't see this on that list of games this month and go, oh, brilliant. Now I can play Arkham Knight again. I sort of went, well, I guess that's the one we have to play then, which doesn't speak volumes about the amount of fun I'm having, really, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I mean, the other option, of course, was Darksiders 3, and like we said, we played Darksiders 2, and it was a little bit meh. If I had to choose between the two of them, even without playing Darksiders 3, I have to say Batman Arkham Knight definitely, I think, the more fun.
I agree.
For me. And I didn't see any real catches or any hidden catches. I read something about some kind of exclusive PlayStation 4 level or something like that might be a catch if you don't play on the PlayStation, but then why would you be listening to this program if you don't have a PlayStation? Yeah. So that's the only thing that possibly is a hidden catch. Didn't see anything else. Main catch for me, they could have done the control interface a little bit better, but other than that, I didn't see any catches. Did you?
No, I don't think there are.
Well, I mean, you did have to uninstall your original install and download it again. But
that's a hidden catch of the PlayStation system more than anything else, I guess. Similar games. Obviously, the Arkham games are similar but better. The Fight Me, they are better. The earlier games, but it's Spider-Man. The PlayStation Spider-Man game is very similar in its kind of chain combat and story type situations, and it is fun. It's the same kind of flow. You're building a flow when you're battling people, but I don't know. Can you think of any other similar games?
Well, not really. Only sort of like the third-person aspect of it, really, and the driving aspect, the third-person act, the mission aspect of it. The nearest thing is like, Mafia 3, that kind of thing. But then that's more sort of killing people, whereas Batman is more sort
running
of like
people over.
I'm trying to find the truth. He's trying to actually. But I mean, it's. I mean, I think Batman is Batman, isn't it? I mean, you're right when you think Spider-Man. Again, not a game that I've played. I'm quite sort of narrow in my scope. I think I have a Spider-Man game for the PS3, again in my library due to completeness, that I haven't played.
The most recent Spider-Man game is very similar to this, but it because it's more pure. It is swinging, and it does the same thing that the first two Arkham games does, which it makes you feel like you are that character. You really are. You experience what it would be like to be Spider-Man in some small way, which the first two Arkham games do for Batman. Being just awesome at fighting with very little effort is a cool thing. I just wish there was a bit more of it. There was enough of the bad stuff, I think, in the beginning of this game. Enough bad stuff too early to put me off. That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, for me, hasn't put me off. Hasn't put me off it. Whether or not I will continue to play it on a regular basis is usually the test of whether or not a game is actually any good long run. I mean, take for example, Sniper Elite. We're still playing that. Yeah. We're still enjoying it. XCOM we're taking a break from, but we're still.
But it's certainly not leaving my dashboard. XCOM, so that's
The Witness is still here for me. Overcooked I'm still enjoying, but that's more of a party game for local play, and that's the only reason why it doesn't get much outing or love. Hitman is still happening. I still pick that up periodically. Mafia is still here. I may have said that already. I've still got Deus Ex is still here. I've still got Beyond Two Souls. I'm just realizing I've got a massive hard drive. But the games that haven't made it are the games that just haven't kept my interest. And Batman is it's interested me. It's tweaked my interest. But whether or not I get time to play it or not is another question. So it's been added to that list of games that not to be deleted unless you really need the space.
Okay. So, thinking of that then, was it worth the hard drive space and time?
I think it was. I think it took me about 3 hours to download overall, or at least it downloaded over a 3-hour period. I just hit the sort of download button and walked away. But it's you know, it's 50 gigabytes in size, and I think that's reasonable for a great, you know, an A title from 2015. You know, basically fits on a Blu-ray disc. I wonder how much patching had to happen. Thinking of you and your Spider-Man way back when.
Oh God,
yeah. I think for me it was worth the download, and it's worth the bandwidth. The time, I think only time will tell if it's actually been worth my time, if that makes sense. What about you?
Personally, my experience with it says it's not worth the space, but in a completely objective way, I think it is worth. It is a good game to have offered. It is a nice game for the month. Obviously, when you put it up against the other alternative, especially. But it's it's a good game. It's worth playing. If you haven't played the other Arkham games, I would say maybe try and play those first. But it's a decent game. I'm just biased because it's not as good as its predecessors. So I personally don't think it's worth the space, but I don't want to badmouth it too much because it's a very well put together game.
So what you're saying is it's not your Batman,
Not my Batman.
See, for me, I suppose it comes down to would I pay for it, and I think when I eventually put Batman Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and the other one was Origins.
Yeah.
Origins. Yeah. When I eventually put those in, and I don't actually have Origins, Origins, I have to go and buy that one. And the very fact that I've just said that probably means that I probably would have bought this eventually. Whether I would be in the same mindset of you after that eventuality or not is another question, because my path to this game has been somewhat different to your path to this game.
Yeah.
But I think I would have eventually have paid for it. And that's how I'm going to look at it. And obviously, you already have paid.
That's what I was going to say. My answer is interesting because would I have paid for it? I did pay for it. I have since lent it to somebody else over 2 years ago and have never asked for it back. So, yeah, I did pay for it. Would I again? Probably not. Not at full price, anyway. So
there's your answer.
There's your answer.
So this, and with that, this is MikePapaFoxtrot.
And this is Batman. And we were looking at Batman Arkham Knight, currently freeloadable from the PlayStation Network in September 2019.